I'm Mary Hawkins, president of Bellevue University, and we are delighted with all of the candidates. Actually, some of you are past candidate now, so we'll celebrate that tonight. And our guests, please stand at this time. I am going to introduce Dr. Paul Poplar, who will do our invocation.
God of all faiths, we thank you for this gift of the graduation day. We rejoice in all who are attending and participating in this solemn ceremony. Bellevue University graduates, parents, students, family members, board of director members, President Hawkins, deans, administrators, faculty, and staff. We know that our journeys to this day were not easy. Late nights, few hours of sleep, missed family events, little time for ourselves, and besides our studies and our support for our loved ones, all of us had many duties and responsibilities to those who needed our time, our talents, our commitment, our spouses, family partners, friends, and our work colleagues. In spite of all these challenges, we know that your grace gave us hope, courage, and patience to complete these responsibilities to reach this graduation day. Thank you, God, for surely are with us here today and always, and let us all be thankful and grateful to you, God of all faiths. Amen.
Thank you, Paul. You may be seated. It's my privilege to introduce to you the administration, board members, and faculty who are here today. We'll hold our applause till the end, but as I call your names, if you would please stand, I'd appreciate it. So, Director Diva Mejias, Director Gail Seaton, thank you, ladies. Dr. Rebecca Murdoch, Dr. Matthew Davis, Dr. Michelle Epler, Dr. Sharon Ray, Dr. Jane Schaefer, Dr. Julia Cronin-Gilmore, Dr. Stephen Lenenberger, Dr. Paul Poplar, Dr. Greg Ashley, Dr. In-Hyun Han, Dr. Aaron McDonald-Jones, Dr. Nick Wolf, Dr. Carolyn Yusuf Morgan, Dr. Kevin Shire, Professor Mark Stevens, Professor Juliana Grabinowski, Professor Kimberly Grassmeyer, Dr. Stacy Wade, Dr. Linda Thomas, Mr. John Erickson, and Sharon, I think I overlooked you when I named Dr. Sharon Ray. We're very, very excited about this ceremony, and we especially love the intimacy of this. We have a graduation ceremony where all of the doctoral and PhD students are welcome to come to. But this one allows us to really celebrate the tremendous achievements of those students of ours who have pursued doctoral degrees, and to really share it with the family. Plus graduates, you don't have to listen to the rest of the 400 names as they're called to walk across the stage. So we understand that we can make this as special for you as we can. At this time, I would like to introduce again, Dr. Rebecca Murdoch, Dean of the College of Business, which supports both of the doctoral programs that we have at the university. Rebecca?
Good evening, everyone. I now have the distinct pleasure to introduce our ceremony speaker, who some of you may be familiar with. Dr. Stephen Lenenberger is a professor of leadership in the College of Business at Bellevue University. And I'm proud to say he is also a close colleague and, importantly, a friend. Before joining our college faculty in 2001, Stephen worked in business as well as human service nonprofit organizations. Prior to those roles, he studied political science and education at Kansas State, but he earned his undergraduate degree in human and social service administration from Bellevue University in 1996. From there, he enrolled in Bellevue University's Master of Leadership program, which was the first program of its kind in the country, and he completed that program in 1998. More than a decade later, in 2010, Stephen received his PhD in Human Sciences, specifically Leadership Studies from the University of Nebraska, Lincoln. Like so many students, Stephen's journey to a PhD was not a straight line. But I can attest that every life experience he has had has contributed to the outstanding academic leader, teacher, and researcher that he is today. He has a unique perspective to share with all of you on the doctoral degree journey. So without further ado, please welcome him to the podium.
Thank you very much. I'm going to put my timer on here so I don't go over. Nothing worse than a run-on speech, which I promise not to do. I am so honored to be here, Dr. Hawkins, Board of Directors members, faculty members, and most importantly, graduates, family, and friends. As Dr. Murdoch said, I am a product of Bellevue University, and my journey here was, like a lot of you, not a straight path. But as I was thinking about this speech tonight, the first one I've ever done like this, I thought about how grateful I am for all the people and the events that helped me get to where I am today. And I'm sure you can all relate to that. And therefore, what I'd like to do is name my talk tonight, Gratitude, a Wise Investment. I was preparing for this speech. I looked up some of the research on gratitude, and I know that at least one of our doctoral students did a dissertation on gratitude. Gratitude is a very powerful aspect of our journeys. And gratitude is something that we don't have to think about as it's happening. We can think about past events in our lives, future events and current events that make us happy, and it creates an emotional boost for us. And yet, as I was thinking about this, I thought, it's kind of a cruel trick of human nature that we have to spend so much time reminding ourselves to be grateful and to show gratitude. Why doesn't it just come naturally? And so what I want to do tonight is challenge you as you celebrate this great accomplishment of our graduates and the support that you've given them. Think about how you might be able to apply gratitude in your own life. In 1996, I attended a graduation of my half-brother at a small college in Kansas. He was receiving his associate's degree, and I had just finished my master's degree here at Bellevue, and I thought that was as far as I was going to go. It took everything I had. I had a lot of obligations, very complicated life, but I was able to get through, and I was just happy that I had made it that far. But as I was sitting in the auditorium with my father, he turned to me and said, as the professors walked in, he said, "Steve, you'd look really nice in one of those hats." And he was trying to, and there was so much more than saying that these are good-looking hats. He really saw something in me, and he always did his whole life. And I looked at my dad and I said, "Dad, I love you, but you're out of your minds. There's no way I'm going to get a PhD." Well, a few years later, I actually did accomplish that and ended up on the esteemed faculty of Bellevue University. And I hope that, my words here help you think about those times when you're down or when you're trying to decide whether or not you can make the next goal in your life, to stop and practice some gratitude and think about the people that have helped you get to where you are. And gratitude doesn't just work on the personal level, it works on the organizational level as well. And I was thinking a lot about this recently, that, we every now and then we'll hear somebody in our organization say, "What a thankless job," or, "Gosh, I wish somebody would just give me a pat on the back once in a while." It's powerful. It keeps people motivated. It keeps us focused. And it also helps create a more vibrant, fulfilling workplace, and ultimately a more effective workplace. So there was a recent Harvard article that actually said this, that I read today, that practicing a thank you at work a very simple thank you makes all the difference in the world for an employee's affect. We all know this from the research. So I'm only about halfway through my speech, and I think I've said everything I need to say. But the message is simple tonight. Be thankful, show thanks, and make sure to boost people up by giving them a pat on the back in your organizations and in your everyday life. And I guarantee you, like me, you will reap the benefits for a very, very long time. So thank you.
Steve, thank you. That was really heartfelt, seriously. I'm sorry, I'm on a first name basis. I will try to keep the doctor titles going, but at this time, I would invite Director Diva Mejias to please come forward. And I will ask the candidates for graduation to please rise. Director Mejias, on behalf of the faculty of the university, I have the honor to present to you and the board of directors these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for designated Bellevue University degrees.
Thank you. By virtue of the charter power granted by the state of Nebraska to the Bellevue University Board of Directors, and by reason of recommendation from the president and faculty of Bellevue University, be it known to all those present on behalf of and in the name of the Board of Directors, I hereby confer the doctoral degrees upon the candidates, together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Congratulations. You may now be seated. And Dr. Murdoch will come up and I will be joined on our new additional podium for hooding by the Board of Directors representatives and by the advisors, as Rebecca calls them up.
Today, we begin the degree awards with the hooding ceremony for the PhD and doctoral graduates. The doctoral degree is the highest of all academic awards. We are very pleased today to present our graduates from the Doctor of Business Administration program and graduates from the PhD program in Human Capital Management. As you can see, Director Diva Mejias and Director Gail Seaton are going to be congratulating you after you are hooded and receive your diploma. Also participating in the hooding are the graduates' dissertation chairs, Dr. Stephen Linneberger, Dr. Julia Cronin-Gilmore, and Dr. Greg Ashley. Would you come up and join us at the stage here? All right, graduates, as I call you up one at a time, you're going to come up in front of our stage and be hooded and receive your diploma. So it is my pleasure to introduce our first candidate, Arina Michelle Butler Rojas. Dr. Butler Rojas's dissertation is titled Assessing Affirmative Action and the Fulfillment of Its Purpose, a study on the effects of affirmative action and rollbacks on workplace diversity. Her dissertation chair is Dr. Julia Cronin-Gilmore. Kristen Annette Morris Heath. Dr. Morris Heath's dissertation is titled, What is the Loss in Revenue for a Radiation Oncology Department to Produce Comparison Treatment Plans requested by commercial insurance providers when seeking proton therapy authorization? And her dissertation chair is Dr. Stephen Linneberger. Brian Christopher Hughes. Dr. Hughes's dissertation is titled Examining Toxic Leadership and Integrated Framework for Organizational Recovery and Associate Retention. Dissertation chair, Dr. Julia Cronin Gilmore. Scott J. Peck. Dr. Peck's dissertation is titled Over-the-Road Trucking Labor Deficiency, a meta-analysis study. Dissertation chair, Dr. Julia Cronin Gilmore. Jason Michael Pinder. Dr. Pinder's dissertation is titled Examining Railroad Transportation Employees' Safety Prior to Crew Consist Changes. Dissertation chair, Dr. Julia Cronin Gilmore. Whitney Marie Smythe-Smith. Dr. Smythe-Smith's dissertation is titled An Analysis of the Assessed Valuation of Lake County, Colorado, and Recommendations to Stabilize County Revenue Sources. Dissertation chair, Dr. Julia Cronin Gilmore. Tawanda Lee Steinberg. Dr. Steinberg's dissertation is titled Emerging from the Background, a Leadership Development Guide for Black Women on an Executive Path. Dissertation chair, Dr. Julia Cronin Gilmore. And our first PhD in Human Capital Management graduate is Christopher John Boyer. Dr. Boyer's dissertation is titled Doctor, Heal Thyself, a phenomenological case study of physician spiritual practices. Dissertation chair, Dr. Stephen Lindenberger. Patricia K. Carr. Dr. Carr's dissertation is titled The Roles of Mindfulness and Gratitude on Life Satisfaction. Dissertation chair, Dr. Greg Ashley. Sarah Elsate Irwa. Dr. Irwa's dissertation is titled Developing a Work Style Preference Inventory for Shared Leadership Contexts. Dissertation chair, Dr. Greg Ashley. Wissam Halel Zenedine. Dr. Zenedine's dissertation is titled Perceptions of Muslim Hijabi Working Women in the Midwest. Dissertation chair, Dr. Stephen Lindenberger. We commend our PhD and doctoral graduates for achieving this very high academic honor. We're so proud of you. Congratulations to all. And Dr. Hawkins, you're up next. All right.
Well, I think as Stephen aptly suggested, one of the themes we have tonight is gratitude. And I know that you've got family and friends and all kinds of professors recognizing you tonight, but I would ask you at this time to take a minute and maybe turn around and thank the people in the audience who have supported you on this journey. We're so proud of your accomplishments, and we know that many more are in your future. The commencement is a start, not an end, but it is an end to a few things, and I know you're excited about that. I see the nod. Your perseverance is well understood and valued by all of us. We know that without the support that you've had from your professors, the willingness to work through challenges, to stick with it, your resilience, you wouldn't be here tonight. And truly, I think one of the great claims of a PhD program and a doctoral program is that willingness to stay with it through all of the trials, tribulations to get to the end. It is not simple. All of us really well understand that, especially as we move into adult, where we've got children, families, community, jobs, and all to add to the complications. I'm really hopeful that you stay in touch with us, that you let us know how you're applying your degree, how the degree works for you, what ideas you have for us. We are a listening organization, and we want your feedback as well as your partner in celebration. So congratulations tonight. We will conclude this ceremony now, and everyone is invited to congratulate the graduates. We will go into the room right behind us, and we have some food and drink for you and a little bit of time to share your success. So thank you all for joining us this evening. And graduates, you're well on your way.